Child development. What makes a child a child? Does a child need to be raised in a stress free environment? What is the most important influence on the child development? What influences the most on child development?
Guys, think of that child. You got it? Now, if you could do something, the most important thing to influence the life of that child, what would you do? When I've asked this question to Western audiences, there's a whole litany of important things. Provide attachment security, good nutrition, provide it with good playmates, stimulation, lots of stimulation. Uh,
So the speaker in this video is Tom Weisner, and he talks about child development and the importance of an environment within a child. I will be covering some ideas and topics that were made in the video and will be answering to why it is important to have a safe environment for children. So he talked about how it is an essential matter for all of us. Some of us soon will be handling children who weren't raised in a good and harmonious environment. It is important to point out and understand how the environment became vital to a child's development. Where in the world the child is growing up? A question by Tom Weisner. Well, it is important to decide on where the child should grow. It must create an environment that is free and peaceful. Their environment will reflect on the child, and this will be a long term effect. Western, educated, industrialized, rich, democratic, or in short, weird, a word that Tom Weisner used to define our society. He quoted about 12% of the world live in such a society, and most of the research that we hear about and the experts that we hear about in the context we're in come from other weird societies. So we have learned to bracket the context out and just think about the child as an individual in a weird society. A lot of different individuals raise children. Treatment is delivered socially. Children are connected very tightly, but they are attached to a social community, a family, and other members who help to care for them. They're likely to be part of a system of care. Sadly, vast numbers of children around the world are living in very brutal environments, frequently resulting in oppression, instability, extreme poverty, injustice, hazardous environments, and dysfunctional family circumstances. Why is it important to talk about the child's development and their environment? Why this specific topic? Well, parental resilience is the ability to constructively cope with and bounce back from all types of challenges. It is about creatively solving problems, building trusting relationships, maintaining a positive attitude, and seeking help when it is needed. In order to build trusting relationships, parents need to spend time with children. Observe their behavioral patterns like when your child lies and other eccentricities, and so on. Receiving nurturing attention and developing a secure attachment with parents fosters the development of resilience in children when they experience stress. How does the TED Talk with Tom Weisner relates to our Child and Youth Studies 1F90 class? Child development is a very important topic in our Child and Youth Studies 1F90. In our class, topics such as anxiety in children, depression in children is discussed, and Tom Weisner talks about the importance of having a positive environment to help with their growth and cope with such problems. Having accurate information about raising young children and appropriate expectations for their behaviors help parents better understand and take care of their children. It is important that information is available when parents need it. That is, when it is relevant to their life and their children. Parents whose own families use harsh discipline techniques, or parents of children with developmental or behavior problems or special needs, require extra support in building this protective factor. What have I learned? According to Charney, children obtain their parents' genes, which Charney described as behavioral genetics. Our character and the way we behave are inspired by our genes. Behavior genetics shows that the way we act or who we are is only influenced by our hereditary. Though I also believe that our environment can play a big part. How people behave, how they speak, can change our personality. The longer time you spend with others, the more you pick up their personalities. That is why it is important to have a safe environment, according to Tom Weisner, which I also strongly agree to. We adapt our parents' personalities because of their genes, but also because of the environment we are in. It is important to give the child a safe and positive environment because it will result them behaving kindly and will adapt positive attitudes.